What's up? We'll get started soon. Just gonna wait for some people to come in. Also, let me know if the background music is too loud compared to my voice. Always want to make sure that's not out of whack. What's going on? Ashraf. Would that be Julio? Hank? Carlos? I'm always seeing Carlos here. We'll get started soon. 30 people here so far. Although I think that always lags. We'll get started real soon. All right. Decided to start a little bit early today. It just works out better for me, 10 a.m. All right, might as well get started here. So let's get rid of that. All right, and I'll put this overlay up if I can find it. There it is. Yeah, all right. So, what the hell? All right. As always, we're gonna start off with this week's Q&A reveal, where, you know, throughout the 4 videos I upload weekly, I ask a question, you guys answer it. So I'm just gonna do that first, and then we'll do the portfolio reviews. And so the portfolio reviews, go ahead here in the Discord server. The link is here in the description on YouTube. Join, go to portfolio submissions channel, and then just enter it. Enter your URL. And a couple things here though about this. If I already reviewed your video or your portfolio, don't submit it again unless you drastically changed it. Also, don't submit a portfolio design that you didn't design yourself. Like if it's like a theme, don't submit it because I'm not interested. I want to help people individually, not some other designer who's not watching. All right. I mean, unless you want to improve on it and you think it's bad, you can do that. But yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, so just go here, submit it, and of course, if we get too many submissions at the end, and if you want to send a super chat, go ahead and do that, and I'll make sure to get to yours no matter what. But I received feedback from last week's video and said I mentioned the super chat thing too much, so I'm just gonna say it now, maybe one more time later, and that way I won't be annoying spamming. All right, trying to get my dinner money tonight. All right, so let's get started with the Q&A stuff, and I will be looking at the chat infrequently, kind of just randomly, seeing what you guys are saying here. All right, just to make sure everything's still working, my mic didn't break or something. All right, so let's get started with the Q&A stuff. Here we go. All right, so the question here for Monday's video was, which design trend do you like and hate the most? And I asked this question because we had a 2018 design trends video, you know, in which this question was asked. And so for me personally, the whole particle background, I can't say I hate it, but it's just overused. So if there was one element I would leave out, it would be the particle moving background, just because it's so overdone. A lot of people are using it right now. In and of itself, you know, if it weren't overdone, I kind of like it. But, you know, if you're trying to be unique, I would stay away from that. And then the one that I like, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint the one that I personally like the most, because we're starting to see a lot of color in UI design, and we're starting to see a lot of different shapes, you know, with the Bezier curves and the illustrations. I think it's all a positive thing, although, you know, in some cases it can be overdone. But if it's applied correctly, it's definitely a step forward, I think, for the UI design industry. All right, so let's go ahead here. I think I only had like one question I featured here. To be honest, I think Particle.js is pretty outdated and amateurish. So several other people said the same thing. And let's see what this says. There should be a design that is flashy on first visit and then is never seen again. Why? Well, it's cool to see many of these sites, but it becomes noise when I want to get to the data. I guess I'm more of a business developer user. Tweetin is a great Twitter client. I can clear. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, if you utilize cookies or something or sessions, you can avoid that. Tuesday's question is, do you have, I should have fixed this, an automatic thing from Photoshop, it's splitting it up. Do you have a YouTube channel, and what is the address? And I asked this because this was a YouTube logo design tutorial for my next channel that I'm planning to launch in 6 to 12 months on guitar stuff. And so I decided to ask a more relevant question. So I'm going to feature some of the channels that were submitted in the comments, and I'll just take a quick look at them. I mean, again, I'm no YouTube expert, so I'll probably just look at the aesthetics of the channel art and all that good stuff. So I have a list up here. Let's see here. Let me get up a new window. All right, so this is from Hyper Production. All right, so this is actually pretty solid, 15,000 subscribers, and then this user from this account commented on that video. I like the thumbnails. They stand out well. Good solid design all around. Definitely has its own unique flavor in terms of the color theme and stuff like that. Awesome. He also said, this user, I'm not sure if he's going to watch this or not, but that he would help me if I needed help recording guitars. And so I just got this awesome piece of equipment, and I recorded myself for the first time using it. It's called a Kemper. It's like it's a head amp. It's a guitar amp, and it models different guitar amps, and it does a really good job. Let me see if I can get that up. You guys can hear my crappy playing. Where is it at? All right, this is probably gonna make me disappear. Let me mute the audio, the other audio going on too. Here we go. Cut. Hopefully you can hear this audio. I start speeding it up real quickly after this. This is me trying to do the sweep picking stuff. And then a backing track comes in at full speed. And then it just falls apart. I think I missed like 80 or 80%. Yeah, exciting stuff. Let me bring myself back here. Where are we at? Cut. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to hit him up because I have a lot to learn. All right, so the second one that we have here, and let me get the music back if I can get that going. All right, cool. Let's check this one out. This is from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. No way. Actually, from what I see, there's only one video. Good thumbnail. It looks interesting. Good cover. This is pretty solid from what I see. We got another one from Sparkman. 191 subs. I like what I see. Good color scheme. The web design speed art coming soon page. Now, this seems like two different topics we're covering here. CSGO and this. Maybe it's just like a personal thing. And then I'll have one more. I have one more. Mars Delight. This is the last one. And this is like some type of film thing or something. Look at this one right here. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure if I want to click on it though. All right, reset this. It's probably like a comedy type thing. All right. So let's go on here to the next question. Oh, I forgot that. Okay, now the third. This is from Wednesday's video, I think. Should I cover Pug.js, Pug.js crash course, or design systems next week? All right. So this is more of a poll, and 80% of people mentioned that they want me to cover what a design system is, how to create one, etc. And Pug.js, of course, is formerly Jade. It's a templating engine for writing HTML. So think about how Sass helps you write CSS and gives you special abilities. Well, that's kind of what Pug.js, formerly Jade, does as well. I'm going to cover both, but the design system things, I think 80% of people wanted to see what all this stuff is about the design system. So we'll be covering that. Also, this right here, there's an extension in Visual Studio Code, and I was typing in that particular tutorial lorem, and I wanted more lorem text, and I didn't know that you could just type in lorem 200 or lorem 500 to control or have it give you that amount of text on a screen. So yeah, I decided to include this for anyone else that didn't know. All right. There is a way to okay, I think he's saying, is there a way to prototype like that on Adobe XD? And this is in relation to that tutorial where I was using CSS shape outside. No, there isn't, unfortunately. And then Dragon Breaks says, yeah, sure, $10 a month. And what he's talking about is I have a sponsor now, Skillshare, just for this month for pretty much all the videos. There's like a 30-second ad at the beginning of the tutorials that I do, and they pay me nice for that. And in it, I say, and it's just $10 a month. And this is what this individual is talking about. Yeah, sure, $10 a month. In my country, it's around 37 PLN. I'm not sure which currency that is. For us, it's just like $37 to you. Would you buy their help for such a price? Skillshare was a nice idea from its owners, but the problem with every business is that the price is not the same everywhere. Here it's an advertisement of an apple sold for $40 just because of owner's wish. Well, first of all, an apple shouldn't be $40, and all you're doing is just you're eating an apple, and that's that. That would be ridiculous. But Skillshare is offering you education and enlightenment. So, I mean, whether it's $10 or $37 a month, it's still way hell of a lot better than going to college, especially when a lot of the content that colleges are teaching are outdated. So, I don't know about this comment. All right, and then the final question. What is the one tip you would give aspiring developers or designers? This is probably the best question I asked all week. I try to come up with good questions, but it's hard because I usually do it right on the spot, right before recording, and I'm like, Christ, I need to come up with something. But this is, for me, I forget what my answer was to this, so I hope I'm not giving different advice in different contexts here in different areas. But the one tip I would give aspiring developers or designers. Okay, so when it comes to outside of that, the number one tip I would give first to anybody who has any goal is to be consistent. You have to be consistent, and you have to work at it hard. Just like with the guitar stuff, I picked up a guitar after probably 12 or 15 years of not playing it just at the beginning of this year. And I really wanted to learn how to do the whole shredding crap and that lead solo work, the really fast stuff. And I knew from the start, because I never touched that type of stuff before, I was always acoustic, I would have to work at it every single day or night. And I have. I mean, it's what, August now, and I've played every night since like January or February. And it has paid off. And I just, that's how you have to approach anything in life. And especially if you're trying to build a business, or if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, especially a YouTube channel, just go into it knowing you're not going to make money for a long freaking time, but you just have to keep at it, and that's it. So that's the number one thing. And then crap, I forget what my primary answer was for the topic in general. Let me click on it real quickly here. All right, be quiet. Yeah, it was just something quick. Oh, yeah, marketing. Learn how to market yourself. You get caught up in design, especially if you want to be a freelancer. A lot of people, you get caught up in, learning how to design, learning how to code. Of course, that's a prerequisite. But immediately after that comes knowing how to market yourself. And a lot of people, they just don't do that. They figure I have the tools, but it doesn't matter. You could be the greatest coder or designer ever, but if people don't know your name, you don't know how to get yourself out there and get traffic and all that stuff, well, you're not really worth much, unless, of course, you go and you get employed or whatever. I think some people had some really good answers, so I have quite a few of them that I chose here. One tip, don't support IE if you don't have to in Internet Explorer. And then this person asked, I decided to include this question, how do I know that I don't have to? Well, take a look at your website analytics and see what the breakdown is. Like if you're going to check, if you use Google Analytics, for instance, it'll tell you how many people are using certain browser versions. I know for me in my site, Coursettra.com, there's not many people using that, fortunately, because I have, more tech-oriented audiences. So my tips, start from the basics. I'm just talking about coding. I'm a noob when it comes to designing. Of course, that's with anything. You have to start really at the absolute basics. Same thing with this guitar work, man. You can't start off fast. Just like you can't, if you're trying to be a UI designer, you aren't going to, you have to set expectations correctly for yourself and learn the tools and all that. My answer, love what you do. If you're not passionate about designing or developing, then find something else which attracts you and yields a profit. Yep. Make sure you guys can read this. My answer to the question, in the development world, there's no such thing as difficult. There are only those text, languages, libraries, frameworks that we're not familiar with. We just simply do not know how to perform those tasks we're considering difficult. But once you get to familiarize yourself with the work around on that specific thing you're doing, everything will flow smoothly and practice every day. Yeah, for sure. That, of course, it's not just specific to this industry. That's anything in life. Things can seem daunting at first, but once you break it down in small modular bits, and as long as you have good learning resources, you can pretty much conquer anything unless you have some type of severe IQ issue or something. Number one tip of the world, just copy something you like from the internet. I think I did a video about how, a solid tip about how to get better at like design specifically. And I think they might be paraphrasing what I'm saying, but I wanted to include this so people don't get confused. You don't just copy something if it's something for production or for a client. It really helps build muscle memory, and if you do it for practice. You guys can check out that video. I'm not sure what the title is. Oh, here we go. I was really excited about this comment because I prepared a big rant. Let me get my water here. So let me read the comment. Well, let me provide some backstory to this comment, and then I'll read it real quick, and then my response. So this comment showed up on my video from yesterday, a few hours ago, because I used my main Coursettra YouTube account to comment on a Joe Rogan podcast or video where his guest was calling for the regulation of Facebook and YouTube so that they aren't allowed to censor free speech. And this goes back to the whole Alex Jones being banned from everything situation. And I said they do not need to be regulated. And this Peppy the Frog dude right here, or the Trump Peppy dude, he didn't like that, and he found my channel and he put this comment on here, and he said, "Hey moron, since YouTube and Facebook don't need to be regulated, what if they decided black people couldn't use their platforms tomorrow?" Would you still be saying that they have the right to discriminate against them because they're a private company? No, the government would stop them because that's discrimination. They need to start doing the same to political discrimination. All right, so I'm going to provide a little rant that I read here in response about why I think this is the wrong approach about regulating websites. And this is an important topic because it affects all of us as designers and coders. When we're talking about government regulating certain sites and services. So the government has an interest in keeping its power. Now, in an abstract manner, it's like a living, breathing organism that doesn't want to die. The idea that it's going to regulate the very entities like Facebook and YouTube that provide them with the platform that allows them to spy on us is absurd. The government loves these networks. In fact, they give them massive subsidies. So for instance, if I get out my browser here at a certain article, just to quickly prove this point, if we do a search for Google, they receive $632 million in government subsidies. It's the government, or, you know, myself, the taxpayer, on behalf of the government, giving them money. All right, so another note, the notion that the top corporations hate the idea of regulations is silly. The top corporations are the ones who lobby for these regulations because they're always very costly and burdensome to their competitors. These corporations are able to plan and prepare for these regulations. And meanwhile, the little guys, the competitors that might someday dethrone them, are essentially kept down or kept out of the scene because it's too difficult to comply with said regulations. So I guarantee you the tech giants, they love the idea of being regulated because any bill that's created to regulate what these companies do and don't do is going to be stuffed with so many other nonsensical stipulations, as they always are, and requirements that all present and future tech companies have to comply with, and it's only going to help the tech giants themselves. The solution is a free and open marketplace with the fewest barriers to entry as possible. And this idea that YouTube and Facebook are monopolies, there are plenty of competitors out there from which to choose, but the market has naturally gravitated towards these two entities, which is fine because it's natural. But I'm telling you, if they keep this censorship stuff going, and they're not going to last much longer. Facebook is already losing ground without any regulations in place, and there are already growing competitors, especially in the blockchain space as it pertains to YouTube competitors. We don't need regulation. It's a trap, and it equates to more government control. And besides, whenever the government tries to fix something through law, almost always the opposite of the intended result occurs. Just look at the war on drugs and prohibition. Failure. Just look at protecting the environment, despite the government actually being the biggest polluters on earth. Failure. Look at the war on poverty in relation to minimum wage laws, which actually hurt the poorest people the most because companies end up firing other people, increasing product and service prices, or reducing hours. Look at the war on poverty in relation to the Federal Reserve printing presses that devalue the money in our bank accounts. The government tries to fix things through brute force, which is what legislation is. A threat, and most of the time, trying to fix things with brute force is always an ineffective damn solution. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm done with my little rant here. We don't need government regulation. And hopefully we have some portfolio reviews to get going here. All right, so I'm going to start at the top here. Let's open the link. All right, so by the way, we're going to, yeah, we're doing the, if you want me to review your portfolio, by the way, go to the Discord server, go to portfolio submissions channel right here, and then submit your portfolio down here, and I will review it. So I'm going to start them right now with I am AND. Oh, I am Andre. That's awesome. That's a cool domain name right there, by the way. All right, let's check it out. All right, we have some interesting type occurring here. I am Andre. Kind of a weird place for the menu to show up. It's not currently working, so this is probably, yeah, I would probably not stick it right there in between those two elements. I probably left align this perhaps, or right align it. Coming down here, not too sure about the font. Not because it's different and kind of Comic Sansy, but it's a little bit hard to read. I would separate the letters out a little bit more possibly. I might want to, plus you have a custom font up here, not custom, but something that's real unique. And it has a different aesthetic than this. and this. So it seems like there's inconsistency. There's too much stuff happening in terms of the font choices here. I would spread out this stuff when it comes to Lemonade. This I'm not sure if this is a piece of like a client or something, but you definitely need to space things out more and give it more white space. I mean, you pretty much did a decent job up here, but then everything's scrunched up right here. Coming down here, there's some alignment issues. Because we can see right here this unordered list. I would push that to the left, and because that way things aren't flowing right. We have this centered, we have this absolutely left aligned, and then we have these things pushed off here in the middle. It's creating inconsistencies in the flow of the layout. I would scale this down. It's just kind of too big, and it's taking up. It's pushing everything down here, so there's a big empty space right here. So just I would look. If I were you, I would take a look at different landing page examples from design inspiration sites and see how they're organizing things in terms of position in white space specifically to help you really hone these in, because these are small things. Because look at this. This is things just don't flow well. It seems way too scattered. So organizational structure as it pertains to your layouts and such would be ideal. Someone just asked me, why go into political stuff on a web design channel? Well, because I just can't help myself. And it's actually relevant. I mean, the political stuff as it pertains to YouTube, well, this is YouTube, I'm on YouTube, is important, and it affects everybody. All right, let's check out the next one. Let's see here. What is happening here? Okay. Hi, everyone. Here's my portfolio. I'm going to make sure to open these off screen in case someone tries to troll me and send me to some nasty site. Okay, good. This is not. All right. So, all right. This almost feels more like a social network, like Facebook or something, with the tabs here and stuff to the left and to the right. Design-wise, it's pretty solid, though. We could probably use some separation right here because we have three different entities. We have your name, which sticks out well. That's good. You have your title, and then kind of just like a little paragraph or sentence right here. But these, in terms of visual hierarchy, are not separated at all. So I would try to separate these visually, either by making this bold, maybe making this, like a light gray, not too light though. You want people to be able to read it. Coming down here, this all looks pretty solid right here. These card-based designs. Gonna keep going. Wow, a bunch of certificates. What's happening here? Skills. Yeah, in terms of just pure design, everything here seems pretty solid. Yeah, it's definitely a more interesting type of layout. It feels very, like I said, social networky in a way. These, I don't know about putting this right here, just relegating all this important stuff to the very side. I would maybe create a permanent part over up here for this important stuff right here, up here. But no, in terms of design, it's pretty solid in layout. All right. Well, I'll look at this real quick. This is probably for the Adobe XD challenges that they have over at the Adobe XD Creative Cloud stuff at behance.net/live. And they're having daily UI challenges. I think this is what this is from. I'm not sure. But just looking at this, I'm not exactly sure what this particular challenge was, but this looks pretty solid. It looks like some type of pop-up or something about a coupon or something like that. Yeah, no gripes here really. Maybe blur out the background a tad bit because it kind of competes with that overlay. Here's one. Let's copy this link. All right, come touch magic. We got some type of alien characters or something back here. Interesting. All right, first glance, this looks like my Montserrat font. I would make these bold because they're kind of hard to see. So if I hit Control-Shift-I, get the dev console here, and let me push this up. Where are we at? I'm going to change this to bold. That's better. Now we can just instantly see things coming out. They're so much easier to read. So definitely make that bold. It feels a little bit empty where there's no kind of like logo over here, but that's minor. Let's go down. Or, ooh, nice. I like that. That was cool. All right, so dive in. We'll click this. Very good. It's a little bit hard to see some of these, so I make them bold. This is a tad bit hard for me to see, so I'd make it stand out, but still, I really like this. Very nice so far as for a landing page. I mean, I'm not sure if you would call this a landing page, but nice. This leaves a little something to be desired because you're kind of breaking the flow, the open flow right here, which I really like. And then putting things in a big border. I'm not sure if I like that, but yeah, just make the type a little bit more readable. Yeah, cool stuff. Overall pretty solid. I really like this this video background. It's just barely, you know, it's not competing at all with the type in the front. Good stuff. Let's check out the next one. Who was that? That was /Linux. All right, here's my, wait. I am Andre. You already did it, bro. All right, make the nav links more visible. Let me see here. Let's copy this link. Open up off screen. All right. Okay. You have an interesting character right here. It's designed well, and it also complements the background, dark purple. Pretty good. Got a navigation here, simple enough. These are probably too close together. I'd space those out. Yeah, the type. It seems like you could probably scale this dude down a little bit and give your type a little bit more room, a little bit more white space and padding from this bottom element. So just a minor thing. Coming out here, I like this. Probably makes it a little bit bigger. Nice watermark sort of background. Card-based design looks pretty solid. Yeah, it feels like these could be a little bit bigger on this larger desktop resolution, but so far everything I see is pretty solid. This big empty white space down here, notice we have a little bit up here, but then a ton down here. I would just probably push this down a tad bit more, make it a little bit larger, but then push this up in the same equal distance. This is pretty good here. Yeah, overall quite solid. Just some small things, so I don't have any major issues with that. Good stuff. Let me check the comments here. Oh, I got a super chat, $2. Awesome, thanks a lot. Rugusis1. Oh shit. Sorry about that. He paid me to turn off that overlay. Damn it. Sorry. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Where is the next one? So that was Huck. I'm just trying to find my place here. Please review the site. Okay, we'll do that one. Open off screen. All right, so let me refresh. There was an animation taking place. Oh, of course, it's not going to load. Here, refresh. Come on, man. There was an animation that showed up. I saw it, and now it's just not showing up. All right, well, let's check this out. Yeah, I would maybe try to work in some color here. It's very, very monotone. The name definitely needs to stick out much, much more, especially if we bring this in. Damn it. Yeah, if we bring in the browser, the name might, well, okay, everything's fixed. Okay, well, that's fine. But definitely make this larger. Yeah. This, not too sure about having those right there. Let's check out more, though. Nomi, Lorem Ipsum here. Space, I would probably space these out a little bit more room away from this section right here. I'm not sure if this is very relevant. The image itself, the photograph, I would try to figure out something else to put here that might be a little bit more relevant. Okay, we have a skills thing, decent animation here. Again, I'd space this out. And these just seem too, I don't know, clip arty, if you know what I mean, or generic. Looking at these thumbnails for your projects, it's a little bit hard to distinguish where each one starts and ends because of the background. So I would probably contain these in a card-based layout. And if you don't know what I mean, just go to Google and type in card UI examples, and you'll find a lot of examples to try to just enclose these more. The portfolio, the vertical portfolio text, I would get rid of that. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of tough to read that type of stuff, and I would just put it on the top, make things simple as possible. Form is pretty good. You can definitely see the fields. The type here, text, and it's a different type or a font than in this font, so it's creating inconsistency here. The send button is just kind of stuck right here. It should be right aligned, and probably stand out in a different call to action color than this stuff. It kind of just blends right in there. You really want the send button to stick out well. All right. So overall, you're getting some stuff right, and then some minor stuff is kind of wrong. Now let me go check the. I should probably pay more attention to this chat because that overlay was up there, and you guys were telling me about it, and I was not. Yeah. Make sure nobody else sent in a super chat. Okay, cool. All right, let's do the next one. So who was that? That is Kunal or Kunal. All right, we're going to track this next one. All right, so this is Behance. All right, Elliot, graphic designer, junior art director. All right, so let's just check out a few of these. I'm not going to check out all of them. This looks like some type of typographic poster sort of thing. Biggest issue, I would say, is contrast. I mean, this is pretty good because the type is thick, so you can really, it really separates itself. There's a lot of the white against this lighter blue, but then it starts to be kind of difficult to read this, and especially this lighter weighted type right here. You would definitely need to make a darker background color for this if you were to keep this white. So, yeah. I would try to make it easier to see the type. Other than that, the illustrations are really good. Good stuff. Let's check out one more thing. This looks pretty, yeah. I am generally not a fan of these gradients. I would at least show it without a gradient applied to it. The gradient is so intense that it's kind of hard to see the full effect of the logo. The logo itself, this sort of letter mark, looks pretty well designed. Good stuff. Nice. Maybe I'll check out one more. Brand design. Okay. Solid right here. Oh, there's that logo. Very solid. Yeah, it looks like your strength is probably in this identity design realm. Good stuff. Awesome. Thanks for that submission. So who is that? That's all right. PAL. Don't know if you just look at newer ones, so submitting again just in case. I'm not sure. Does that mean I already reviewed this one? If so, I don't want to review it again. I can't even remember. I've done so many of these. Yeah, I think I did review this already. Either way, I'll do a real quick review of it. This is obviously extremely simple, so that's fine. From what is here, it's good. Probably a little bit too much white space beneath this because you have to really travel a lot. And this card-based design, that works. It's kind of strange because they don't go anywhere. You feel like you want to be able to click them, but then again, where would you take them to? All right, so work React cart. Yeah, everything's really spaced out quite a bit here. You could probably condense some of this stuff. All right. Let me check out the chat, make sure I'm not screwing anything up here. Somebody's creating drama. What's going on here? Okay. Let's go on with the next one. So that was Wild something. At the start of the stream, please do that too. I will recreate my message. Please check this website and tell if there are any errors that could be approved. I already did that. If you weren't here when I saw it, well, okay, make sure I click on some section. All right. There's going to be replay of this. YouTube automatically uploads it. So yeah, I already did this, but it said make sure you click what? Yeah, I already did. So if you weren't here and you didn't see that, that's fine. You can watch the replay later. Let's check Cuttle. Copy link. What's happening? Oh, something's going on. I hit right before I hit that reload icon. Something started to show up. The hell? It's only showing up when I hit refresh. I don't know what's happening here. I have a major issue. What's going on? Look at the HTML. Oh, this is Gatsby JS. Well, that sucks. I want to review this. Let me try a different browser. There we go. What the hell is happening? All right, so unfortunately, there's an issue where I can't review. I can't even see your design. It's just white. I'm looking at the comments to see if I'm missing anything obvious as a way to try to get this showing up. Maybe I can print screen it. I'll just do this part. Okay, this is actually showing up for me. So now if I go to Photoshop, I'll paste in what I saw. This is what I saw. Yeah, it's probably console errors in there. Something was going on. There's some issues with this though. Taking your business to the world. This text in this Bezier sort of curve, got to completely rework this. I would start from scratch, and I would take a look at again, design inspiration sites to get ideas, because there's just too much happening here that's wrong. This type is way too close to this. It's the color and contrast is off. The the medium dark gray against this type of orange doesn't contrast well. Definitely, like I said, go to Google and type in landing page design inspiration or gallery or something, and you would definitely just take some ideas from that as a starting point, and then make it unique in your own unique way. All right, so again, console errors. We have some type of issue here. Oh well. So that was Cuddle. Check out my portfolio built on ViewPress. All right, let's do it. All right. All right. So next one here. Sorry, my messages are going off. All right. Overall, looks pretty solid here. Not sure if this is a custom design. It seems like I've seen this sort of thing. There's color schemes and layout and button types elsewhere, but for what it is, it's very solid. Your name, subheadline contrasts well with it. Might move it up a little bit. See my blogs. This call to action button stands out well. Very simple. I'm not sure what this is going to do. Okay, yeah, nothing. I should cover ViewPress as a tutorial, actually. Oh, okay, so here's, it looks like this is probably a templated thing and you like design it from scratch, but yeah, everything here is pretty solid. Just another ViewPress, okay. Who that was that? Okay. All right, so we got a password protected Adobe XD. We've been watching, wow, 47 minutes already. That's pretty nuts. We'll be done here pretty shortly. And it looks like there's just a few more. I probably won't get to them all. If you want to pay me a super chat, I'll do it. Otherwise, we'll do it next week and just show up earlier and get your portfolio done. All right, here we go. All right, we got some work here to do. Oh man, unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's an issue with Adobe XD itself, or if this is really meant to be this big, like the header and the it looks like this is supposed to be in a what do you call, like a mobile viewport. So maybe if I just do this, no, unfortunately, no. Oh well. But if this is the case, yeah, to definitely scale this down. Everything's too big. The background, this rock background in relation to this type's fine. The About Me, it contrasts well with it. But this type, being that it's like I don't even know what type of color that would be. A really desaturated yellow, kind of like lower in the middle in terms of the lightness level. It doesn't contrast well enough, so I would rework that. You could probably get away with it by changing this background and dimming the opacity big time and making like a background behind it black. Pictures, yeah, there's just not enough here really for me to critique, but definitely fix the readability issue and the contrast issue, and you'll go a long way with that. All right, let's do another one. Let me check the chat. I'm not going to be fixing any problems right now in the middle. If it's a placeholder issue, it should be not difficult to fix. I mean, I could do a logo review. I mean, if you want, just maybe during the next stream, put it in portfolio submission. All right, let's do another one. Who was that? That was an Adobe XD file. Copy link. All right, so this user made this one yesterday. Okay, that's interesting. I knew it. We would get Particle.js or some iteration of Particle.js at least once. I was surprised. It took a while. The particle JS along with this graphic right here, it looks like it's the PNG because it's a little bit rastered, is too much. So go with one or the other. And if you're going to go with this sideways illustration, which kind of throws me off, honestly, I would make it so that it doesn't stick out so much. It's hard to see this in relation to this stuff happening in the background. Let's come down here. All right. Simple enough. I don't know if it's just my browser it's being real slow or there's some type of scroll issue happening here where it's not wanting to scroll fast. The skills, I would put labels with these and probably structure them a little better, maybe in card layouts or something. This over here is just thrown over here randomly. It's not even centered in this column itself, so the layout's kind of just a little bit inconsistent. Works here. Everything's real dark. I would try to maybe lighten up the background because it's hard to see these cards. Just a few small things that you change and you would be able to improve it quite a bit actually. So you're doing things right. You definitely understand white space and all that. All right, let's do another one. Who was that? Chubham. All right, so where's that at? Right here. Here's my portfolio. I used Google AMP. Open copy link. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what Google AMP is. That's why I didn't answer it. Launch your startup. I mean, I think I've heard of it, but I don't have any experience with it. Pretty solid right here. Things need organized a tad bit better. There needs to be some type of separation between this row of elements here and this up here. So you could go about that several different ways. You could create a separate container for these elements and push them down a little bit more. Because as you can see, you have a lot of white space up here on the top, but then you have like half that amount of space, and then this stuff just starts. So just separate those into sections if possible, and it'll create more structure. Looking here. All right. Yeah, this is it. I like this section better than this. First of all, the big outer glows, I would get rid of that. The gradient that's pretty intense here, I'd probably get rid of that as well. The My Services in this line right here, they're not in line with each other. One's pushed over here. It throws off the flow of the layout vertically when you're scrolling down. And then you have these icons which are pushed over again, even though this was over here. And then these are not even. You know, the very beginning of like website development, mass SEO, graphics, and then you have graphics and it's just kind of pushed over here. You need to make sure that these containers are all of the same exact width because it's throwing off the flow of the layout. Other than that, pretty solid. Yeah, I would just work on, and there's a ton of white space right here. So I would work on creating consistency in terms of your white space, your margin padding. It seems like this is a common theme. I feel like I'm really repeating myself, but that's one of the issues that I'm seeing in a lot of today's submissions. So try to work on what I mentioned, creating a nice, continual, consistent flow when it comes to where elements start and begin, or in end rather. All right, let's do another one. We're at 55 minutes. I'm going to do one more review, and then whoever came after this one, and then if anybody who submitted thereafter really wants me to do it, you can either do the super chat, and I'll do it after. I'll add times for as many super chats that I receive, or just show up next Friday at 10 a.m. and I'll and get it submitted quickly. Try to be one of the first people to submit, and I'll do it then. All right, so who is after Partha. All right, so after Partha is right here, healthyliferhythm.com. Friend's website. Well, okay. I mean, as long as you show this to your friend. All right. I don't know if I'm an immediate fan of, by the way, when it comes to these overlays, I'm not going to talk about the design right now, but having these pop-ups for the lead generations for the name and email address immediately when you show, that's going to turn people off. I'm a bigger fan of, you know, at least have X amount of time before you show this or make it show up on scroll. Because immediately people are like, what the hell is this? Get off. They're going to click X. You probably have less leads. Anyhow, the Healthy Life Rhythm logo. Again, we have this issue where the search should be contained. Everything else starts on this line right here. But then the search is just outside and it throws off the flow of the layout. So make the beginning and end start where the logo starts and end where recipe ends right here. Looking at the navigation, I would get rid of the glow. Just kind of makes it hard to read. And they're kind of hard to read actually. I would probably take this wood background and darken it. That way your logo, especially the logos, the little slogan tagline is hard to read. It's so small. But it would increase contrast by making the wood darker. So throw it into Photoshop, darken it, and bring it back in. Living with health issues can be difficult. Okay. We have a slider here. The design, in terms of the type, the headline, subheadline, should be separated more. The line height of this is throwing it all off for the headline. Probably get better preview images for this particular article at least. Okay, and this is probably some type of WordPress magazine layout, so nobody actually designed this. Yeah, these titles, they need to come in. That line height needs to be brought in a lot. All right. Other than that, it could be solid. Just change a few things. All right. So let's go ahead and check out the chat. Again, the people who submitted down here, there's like 4 or 5 of you. Go ahead and submit tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Friday during the live, and try to be here quickly. But it's already in, basically an hour long, and like I said, I'll give you guys like a minute. I'll start reading some chat, the chat, and if anybody sends a super chat within the next 60 seconds, I'll do it. All right. All right. Bitcoin Electron out. Yeah, I did do a kind of like a Bitcoin price app for Electron. The scheduled time changed because it works better for me on Fridays. I just wanted to go quicker. We're still sticking with the 10:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday schedule, though. All right, great, Barth. My video description has same content twice, so I must have pasted it by accident. Oops. All right. All right, guys, I am going to conclude here, and we'll see. Oh, sweet. Thank you a lot, Mohamed. On demand, please. Okay, here's the issue. Mohamed, let me know what your username is in Discord so that I know who to, which one I need to review. So, Mohamed, let me know what your Discord username is. Oh. Gaddafi. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I think the U.S. government really helped to kill Gaddafi. I'm sure that has no relation to you, though. U.S. government loves to meddle in other people's affairs. Don't get me on that. I know I get too political. Okay, let's check out this. All right. Oh, on demand. Okay, that's what you meant by that. All right. This really feels like this is supposed to be a mobile design because this is a massive card design, massive picture. So if that's the case, it'll probably work much better like that, as you can see. I'm not sure if that's your intention. Maybe I'll get your chat up here to make sure that I'm not sure. Maybe you can answer that for me. If this is supposed to be just a mobile only design. He said refresh. Let me. Okay, so here's the. I'm not interested in the animation. The problem is though, if this is supposed to be the layout for desktop as well, then you definitely want to change this up. Obviously, get more content. Maybe that's the issue. You only have one piece of content, therefore this one's automatically showing up large. So looking at this, I mean, there's not a lot of design here for me to really work off of. One thing I would say, at least at this resolution, again, the alignment thing, push the on-demand to the very start of where that card begins. Same thing with this over here. It'll really solve the problem with the flow. Select a different news. Okay. Oh, there we go. Much better. Nice. So this seems like this is based on some type of JavaScript framework. I'm not sure if I'd be able to tell. Usually my little view thing will light up if it is. Yeah, either way, I'll just focus on the design itself. I would definitely get rid of the big drop shadow on the soft drop shadow on the read more. In fact, let me click on this, and I mean you can still have a drop shadow, but not to that degree. It's way too much. As you can see, these values 15 by 38 and -6. You know, I would change that, or you know what, get rid of it entirely. Trying to find out. There we go. This already looks a lot better. Get rid of the drop shadow entirely for that call to action. Looking at these, the title's good. This is good. This is good as well. Again, the background here with the shadow, I would change that at 2. So I would get these. Get rid of the 1 pixel border because you already have a gray background, I think, at least. Oh, it looks white actually. But 1 second, let me change the box shadow here. All right, so now they disappear. But here's what we could do: we could take our body, give it a background color. And I'll change it. And let me go back to these real quickly. And we'll make background white. That's a lot better than what you had. So I would change it exactly to this to improve these. The shadows, in my opinion, don't just work. They don't work. If you do have a shadow, I would use more like the material design technique where it's very subtle. There's no blur, barely. And that way they will come off the page a little bit more, but you're not going to be doing that real soft shadow thing. So yeah, read more. Oh, okay. So it's just a link. So yeah, overall pretty solid. But hopefully I was able to give you some good advice there. There's another one. VinMig, possible to view my website. Well, hopefully you submitted it. Thank you for the super chat. Which Discord username, you know, is your? I don't see VinMig in here, so make sure you tell me what your username is. I'll let this sit here for a second. Oh, all right. I'll just do that then. I'm going to put this in off screen real quick. Ooh, we got some animation. I'm liking it so far. All right. I like the color scheme. Probably because this is my Corsetto color right here. I like that a lot. In terms of the background, nice kind of desaturated darker blue. Contrasts well. I like that play off your name. The V and the M is this symbol right here in a unique way, and the V is emphasized. Good stuff. I like that. Looking back here, we have this really simple kind of animation occurring based on the mouse position. Really good headline right here. There's something interesting happening down here with this V. Maybe that's a pointer. Okay. Everything is quite big, but although I'm on a pretty large. One thing that's a little bit frustrating is the scroll hijacking. I would limit that effect if you could. Like when I stop right here, it's going on almost like a second and a half too long. So it kind of just, you know, that's the scroll hijacking type thing. But if you can minimize that, that would be ideal. Looking down here, probably scale down this or widen it a little bit more so you get more on one line. But this is all really solid. It's all really unique. I would probably push this out a little bit more to the left. Looking at this, this is all really pretty cool. Yeah, it's this the browser the scroll hijacking is a little bit difficult for me to control. And when I want it to be fast, it's not fast. But in terms of design, what you have going on here is pretty solid. Yeah, I like it. Definitely more on the unique side, but it's done well. Awesome. Thanks a lot for the super chat. All right. Where's the super chat thing or the chat box? Blah blah blah. I just found your channel last week. I was looking for an Angular 6 tutorial. Cool. No React.js course. I need to get better with React before I start to cover it. Looking at this. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're at 1 hour and 8 minutes. I'll conclude this in about 30 seconds, unless someone wants to do another super chat. Otherwise, man, I'm getting kind of tired. Talking for 1 hour and 10 minutes is tough. You're welcome. Thanks for the super chat stuff. So I'll pay for a margarita tonight, possibly. Yeah, the scroll thing. I mean, it's a very minor change, and I think it would really improve if that effect is minimized. So usually when it comes to these design critiques I do, it's just small changes that would really make big results. All right, Shub, I would do that, but I'm done now. It's already been 10 minutes or 1 hour and 10 minutes. So come here next Friday, probably at 10 a.m. Go to the Discord server and ask me for because I'm not sure if it'll be 10 or 10:30. But yeah. What program do I use in your last video? Creating color themes for your website. What program? Well, what do you mean? Like the one I use to record stuff, my screencasting? I use vMix software. What did I do with? Oh, Adobe Experience Design. That's what I use. All right, guys and girls. I'm gonna head out. So I will talk to you all. See you next week. Monday will be a new tutorial. JS-based animations. There's anime. I think it's anime.js. There's one called green sock animation, and that's really powerful, quite complex. I want to cover it eventually. I need to learn it. But yeah, I'm going to get going, guys, and I'll see you next time.